everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Brian Donnelly. The Spirits Educator is a digital education platform and trade resource for the distilled spirits industry. My aim is to provide in-depth spirits information, brand transparency, and category education for distributor sales teams, service industry and hospitality members, and motivated enthusiasts. I currently work for a major wine and spirits distributor, but my work here on the Spirits Educator is completely unaffiliated with my current employer. Welcome back to my What's the Difference series, where I compare two products that may appear very similar to consumers and compare how they're different. Today I'm going to be talking about Yellowstone Select Bourbon and Yellowstone American Single Malt. The first product is Yellowstone Select Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. So, here's what the bottle looks like. Here's the front label. The Yellowstone Select is the brand's flagship product. It combines 4-year-old and 7-year-old bourbon distilled from a mash bill of 75% corn, 13% rye, and 12% malted barley, and is bottled at 93 proof or 46.5% ABV. The Yellowstone Select won a gold medal at the 2022 San Francisco World Spirits Competition. I'm also going to read through the tasting notes that have been given to me for this product by the Yellowstone brand. I'm always fascinated by the way that companies choose to write their tasting notes because they're always, so beautifully and intricately written. At the end of this video, I'm going to taste through these products and compare my personal thoughts or my personal tasting notes with the tasting notes that have been provided for me. So please stick around for that. All right, the tasting notes for the Yellowstone Select. This product has notes of rye spice with soft leathered cherries. See, leathered cherries? I mean, it's just beautifully written. I don't know if that product will actually deliver on that, but we'll see. The palate is smoked caramel with hints of vanilla and honey, and the finish is a smoky oak brown sugar. So let's get started, and I'm going to start with the Yellowstone Select Bourbon. Got a bottle here. So just for comparison, the nose on this is described as rye spice with soft leathered cherries. It's definitely got a nice nose. I mean, I wouldn't say it's a big nose. It doesn't jump out of the glass at me, but I could definitely agree that, rye spice, soft leathered cherries. I don't exactly know if I've seen or could describe soft leathered cherries, but I would say it's got a really nice nose. So the palate is smoked caramel with hints of vanilla and honey. That's nice. It's got some good complexity. There's definitely multiple different flavors going on. It's tasty. Very drinkable. I would say, yeah, that's definitely. I've had this product in the past, but it's definitely tastes better than I remember, especially for this price point. And we'll talk about price here at the end. The finish is a smoky oak brown sugar. And I would definitely say that it's got a decent finish. Yeah, I would say that definitely has a nice finish and isn't too far out of the realm of the way these tasting notes were written. Obviously, anytime a brand provides tasting notes, they're written with a certain artistic flair. So obviously, everyone's palate is different. You're not going to exactly always taste these, kind of beautifully written artisanal tasting notes, but the idea is, can you pull out multiple different flavors? Is there certain layers of complexity? Is it interesting? is it tasty? Is it drinkable? Does the finish just immediately drop off, or does it kind of linger for a bit? What's the nose like? Does it jump out of the glass? Can you pull out these multiple different flavors? That's kind of the things I'm looking for. So Yellowstone Select, definitely much better than I remember. And I think for this price point, really, really enjoyable. I'm going to be talking about Oklahoma pricing because I don't have the recommended MSRP from the supplier. That you can find this product anywhere from $33 to $36. And obviously, even in the mid-30s, there's a lot of great options. But I would definitely say that this product holds its own. And then if you paid, between $33 and $36 for Yellowstone Select, I don't think you'd be disappointed. Now, again, when you start getting above $30, there's a lot of great options, especially nowadays, for great bourbon and great bang for your buck bourbon. But I feel like Yellowstone Select definitely holds its own, and I definitely think that if you paid kind of mid-30s for this, you certainly would not be disappointed. All right, the next product is actually not a bourbon, so that's the Yellowstone American Single Malt Whiskey. So, here's what the bottle looks like. Here's the front label. You can see American Single Malt. Here's the back. The back of these all look very similar. And then I didn't show you earlier, but there's a beautiful embossing on the glass on all these bottles. That is really cool. All right, the Yellowstone American Single Malt Whiskey is not a bourbon, as I said earlier, but a 4-year-old whiskey distilled from just malted barley at a single distillery, or single malt. That is the meaning of single malt. It's made from just malted barley and distilled at a single distillery. This product is bottled at 108 proof or 54% ABV. And the tasting notes for this product are a nose of cereal malt and honey with hints of peach blossom. The palate is sweet, medium body with a nose of honey, pear, stone fruit, and dates. And the finish is notes of oak with hints of cinnamon and English walnuts. I have never had English walnuts. I don't know what they taste like, but when I tasted this product, I'm very curious to see if I get a finish of English walnuts. All right, final product, American Single Malt. This is the only non-bourbon that I have here. And I'm going to be honest, no offense to Stranahan's or Westland or any of these, great American whiskey or any of these great American single malt brands. I don't particularly care for American single malt. I love what they're doing. I love the idea behind American single malt, and I want to like American single malt more. I don't drink a lot of Scotch single malt. I don't necessarily prefer those malt qualities. The stereotype is, if you look at like single malts from Scotland, it's a grain forward whiskey with the oak or barrel flavors providing secondary flavors. And then if you look at bourbon or American whiskey, it is a barrel forward flavor profile with the kind of grains offering secondary flavors. So American single malt is kind of an interesting twist on both, right? They're using malted barley as the primary grain, and it's usually from a single distillery, single malt. But a lot of times, or most of the time, they're using new charred barrels, just like they would for bourbon. So you get this kind of middle ground. American single malt is this very interesting middle ground, I think, between bourbon or American whiskey and stereotypically Scotch single malt, or stereotypically single malt Scotch whiskey. So this is Yellowstone's version. It's bottled at 108 proof, so I'm curious to see how well the proof's integrated into those flavors. So, all right, so we got a nose of cereal malt and honey with a hint of peach blossom. Oh yeah, definitely get the malt, definitely get the honey, and definitely get some floral elements. Okay, I would say of all the products, the nose on this is right on the money from how they described it. All right, so the palate is described as a sweet medium body with notes of honey, pear, stone fruit, and dates. Definitely feel the bump in proof. Not too bad. Like, it's pretty well integrated, but not as well integrated as the others. Definitely kind of that medium body. You know, that malt doesn't. And this product, I don't think is aged as long, so it doesn't quite have the intensity on the palate that those other products do. The other products from Yellowstone, but you kind of get that stone fruit, honey pear, stone fruit date. Yeah, I would definitely agree with all that. You feel the bump in proof, 108 proof versus 100 proof versus, the Yellowstone Select is 93 proof. That's pretty good. I mean, let's see. Let's look at the pricing. All right. So American Single Malt in my market would be between $38 and $42. So listen, this product probably isn't the product for me. I would probably gravitate towards either the original bourbon or one of the cast finish. But I think if you like American Single Malt, or even if you are a traditional single malt Scotch drinker, I definitely think you could enjoy this product. It's got enough of those malt elements that I think if you consider yourself a single malt drinker, you would really enjoy this product. But it's got a bit more intensity and punch, not just a higher proof, but being produced by a bourbon producer, they're probably integrating some those kind of stereotypical bourbon production methods into this product. And I think if you like single malt whiskey, or you're already an American single malt drinker, maybe you're already buying Stranahan's, you're already buying Westland, I definitely think this product could be worth the money. I'm glad I got a chance to revisit this product. I would probably default to one of the others, but I think if you like that style of product, this product is worth the money. And then let's describe the finish. I always forget about the finish. Notes of oak with hints of cinnamon and English walnuts. I don't exactly know what English walnuts are. I haven't had that, but I would say this definitely has a shorter finish. This definitely, compared to the other Yellowstone products, this has the shortest finish. Cinnamon and that kind of nuttiness from you might describe as walnuts. I definitely think notes oak and cinnamon. Sure, I would agree with that. It's a much shorter finish though. Definitely not as much complexity, I think, as even the base bourbon. And definitely not when you start talking about the cast finish, the toasted or the rum cast. But it's good in its own way. It's very different and it offers something different, which I think is always kind of interesting. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video enjoyable and informative. Please give it a like and consider subscribing. If you'd like to be notified when I have new content on my website or this YouTube channel, please consider subscribing to my email newsletter. I'll include a link below in the description. And if you'd like to support this channel further, please consider becoming a Patreon member or gift me a cocktail to the link below in the description. Thank you so much again for watching, and please drink responsibly.